Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing? Anything of new, anything of old, anything at all? What's up, guys? And a happy Wednesday, being halfway through the week and all that. Weekend is coming ever closer, which is a good thing, I think. So, what are you gonna do today? Well, today we're going to tackle the metallics, highlighting some shit. Put some bright silver on them. Maybe go through the gold, although it is 6 dudes, and that is a bit of a finicky part. Also, I'll take a second look afterwards just to see whether or not I should blend the highlights back down with some of the dark silver. But that's going to be at a later stage and probably not necessarily everywhere across the models, just where it's painfully obvious that that's the case. Sketchy, thank you for the follow. How's it going? Alright, so silver we'll be using. Dude, come on. First of all, I'm pretty well, thank you. Thank you for asking. And secondly, this is one hell of a ghetto setup. But it's been a while that I'm finicking with it every now and again. But there's a lot more to be to be done. But anyway, if you are yourself streaming, let me give you a follow.
Oh, dang, I am. This dude's already all about it. Wow. Dang. Just drawing.
And there you go. So, basic silver from the Procro range is going to be the main tool for the day. By the way, if you are interested in anything in particular regarding the setup, please let me know and I would gladly share any tips and tricks. Even though, again, I'm running it in fairly low budget mode. Also, if you are doing any sort of art, feel free to share links to it. This is a link-friendly channel, and I am personally curious to find out what people are up to. I think this is a little bit too dark. Yeah, I think that's better. Just doodling and vibing to other streams, trying to rekindle my childhood passions, trying to rebuild my virtuous habits. Oh, that's always a good idea. We've had quite a few people come through lately who have been getting back into the hobby, and it's pretty nice. I'm really happy that even though the circumstances surrounding most of these comebacks are probably not the best possible, it is good to feel inspired to get back and reactivate some of your creative outlets. For me personally, it really helps to shed the stress I generate throughout the day, and it's fun. I do also use these minis for the games that they're supposed to go with, so I always have that in addition, that little bit of excitement of being able to put them on a table and play with them. To sort of carry over. And it is fun having to do something with your hands that isn't necessarily strapped to a screen. Kind of dropped out during the senior year, yeah, sorry about that, dude. Yeah, so the age-long question is miniature painting art. The simplest answer to that would be if you were to go by the dictionary definition. So you could just, is it an artifact? As in, is it being man-made? Yes, that's check. Is its primary function having an aesthetic value? If that is a yes, then art it is. It's pretty much as simple as that. Meaning, if you want to paint your models so that they're pretty, it's art. If you want to paint them so that you're color coding them to make a difference, like a functional difference game wise, then it's more of a craft. Hello, how are we looking? What is up? By the way, Sketchy, what were you majoring in before the things happened? Just out of curiosity. And of course, you cannot answer me if that's a topic that you don't want to get into. It's completely fine. Nothing much. Well, you know what they say. No news is good news. Are you able to keep up with your workouts now with the snowstorms? Okay, gotcha. Oh, shut up. Noisy neighbors. Yeah, I guess. I've been experiencing some of those pleasures myself lately. The guys above me have some serious parties going on, but actually, I'm kind of happy because this whole apartment building has been kind of dead for quite a while, and having people that actually have fun in it is pretty cool. And I am also quite a bit envious of them as well, but that goes without saying. Community college art classes. Won a state art competition. Nice, dude. Not giving up on art because COVID ruined my plans. Empowered me. Hardcore. Okay. As long as as practicing art is actually a process of making you feel lighter and like discharging part of that anger, it's all cool and it's all good. Hello, Zomcub. What's up? Welcome to the party. Yo, thank you. Well, I don't know. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Going through the final touches for the metallics. Sweet. There we go. See, that's how you do it. Eternal parasite outcome now. Anything new on anyone's painting table? As I already mentioned, if you are in the mood to share your work, I will be more than glad to take a look. Feel free to share away. And if you don't have links to your stuff and just have the pictures, let me just quickly plug my Discord that you can freely use as a dumping ground for photos that you'd like to show off. Battling a bad brush. A new one should arrive tomorrow. Yeah, well, sad thing about your tools is that no matter how much care you take, they are still perishables. I have to make myself continue painting. Well, that is one of the great issues and topics of discussion: how to maintain productivity. Has several points. I don't know, you may be able to use that as an advantage, if you need to highlight several details that are close together, you might make use of multiple pointy ends. Generally, cutting a brush isn't a great way, because they are clumped together like this, right? And as soon as you start, clipping, you might actually ruin the belly, which gives the form, and so it moves across to the point, and you end up with a dry brush. Sometimes it works, but or just use the time to make a simpler job, not requiring precise tools. Yeah, sure. Oh, you know what else you can do? If a brush is close to dying, you can turn it into a hyper detailing brush for scratches and lining. If you're following the YouTube channel of John Nunez, or Ninjon, which is the name of the actual channel, he has a tutorial where you get an old brush and you've done that. Yeah, okay, so no point in explaining then. Which, I don't know. 4 hairs total. Sweet. I myself would probably make one at some point, but the only thing that actually worries me is the fact that you have to put an enormous amount of actual paint compared to the amount of bristles that there are, and all of that pseudo accuracy that you've set yourself up for with very few bristles just goes away, and you end up not really making a useful tool. But I haven't tried it, meaning that it will be a bit more of a struggle to make the paint flow correctly, not dry up immediately, yada yada yada. The usual shebang. Yeah, that is also a workaround. So unlike the last time, this time I actually start out with the knights because they have the most metallic details on them, so I can get through the ones that require more time faster or just first, so I don't get burnt out as quickly. Panel lining with a wash consistency. Yep, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. So enamels, not enamels, but yeah, oil washes would work good, I think, 'cause they effectively never dry. Inks, I think if you undiluted ink will probably struggle, but with just a little bit of water you could get it going. Well, it's not really that advanced. I mean, you try to use it and you will very easily see where its limitations are. Is the brightness too high? Uh, like on the monitors? Because I did crank it up a little bit and I'm seeing that it starts to dull, to wash out the colors a little bit. Let me know if that's the case on your side as well. All right. Yeah, that's the whatchamacallit, the exposure correction, which is on automatic because unfortunately no manual setting. Uh, I cannot manually set it to what I want it to be. Like the automatic literally goes between two numbers that you can't soft fix. So it's either too bright or too dark if you go manual. The reason for that is that my ambient lighting is shit. And of course the fact that I'm using a webcam and not an actual camera. But yeah, it is annoying, and I tried a lot of options where I could use static exposure, but it just doesn't like it. Maybe it can bless it. No, actually, the only thing I really need is just more brighter lights, and then it'll work. But I don't have anywhere around me to comfortably place more lights. And I already have pretty much the brightest light bulb I can get my hands on my desk lamp. So as soon as I find a solution to this, because this desk is also my work desk and mostly my gaming desk. So it doesn't really make sense if I put a ton of equipment all around it. It already has like two arms set on it that aren't the best. Putting more would just make things extremely busy and cumbersome. So I gotta look into variants. So here's the thing. Actually, okay, let me show you to illustrate the problem real quick. So, okay, this is at -5 for the exposure setting, and you can see that it's way too bright, right? This is static. One below is perfect in terms of lighting, but you already start to see the lines, which shows that the webcam just cannot draw enough power to do proper exposure correction. So if the ambient lights were brighter, this level of correction wouldn't be necessary. So it would be, the camera would be able to tolerate it. So we gotta keep it at automatic, which gets it almost to the previous scale, but not quite enough to keep it stable. Light bulbs. Yeah, but those are for faces, man. These are the ones that you're talking about are for portrait photography. Or so if I wanted to correct the way my face looked on stream on the face cam, that's the kind of lights I would use. But yeah, the stand I could use it, but again, you've seen how clumped up things are around this desk in particular. There are very few spots where I can actually stick things in. But yeah, I'll look around when I have some time. I've pretty much blown my budget around. Oh, sure, and it is appreciated. Don't feel like I'm dismissing any of those. Yeah, thanks. I mean, that's the goal. Make it bearable. Probably the next thing will be to get a light box for some photos of miniatures, because the DIY one that I use is just annoying. So once I have some actual new models painted, ready to be photographed, I might look into a real small, real simple light box. Yeah, with time, and if I keep it up. Although, It's been good. It has been one of the main things that has managed to keep me like regularly painting. Going back to the topic of maintaining your what you call it, your inspiration and your overall productivity. Has actually been the streaming. So it's a nice little sorry block of time that you can sort of put it as a schedule in your own head. A gimmick might help. Oh, seen the Necrogoblicon song? We need a gimmick. Okay, gotcha. I see where this is going. No monkeys yet. But in all fairness, I haven't seen a streamer with a monkey, so you're right. That might do the trick. Right, so like again, where the transitions end up being too rough, I will go back with the dark silver to sort of smooth out any excessive roughness and try and make this presentable. But overall, yeah, it's not gonna be great. I really struggle with metallics. And honestly, I'm a bit too lazy to sit down and start working on non-metallic metals. Although it's never a bad idea, and I'm kind of curious and interested to get at least the basic fundamentals of it. But even if I did, I don't know if I would commit to doing a full Blood Bowl team or an army or a squad in non-metallic. Even though, like, you can get decent basic results fairly easily, I've seen, and I believe that it's possible. So, I don't know. Something to look into at some point, possibly when I manage to thin out the pile of shame that I'm trying to work on right now. Yeah, like, you need to get it to register as a reflective surface. Not so much make a super highly realistic emulation of it. So it should be doable. Question is, do you have to be good at it in order to make it simple, or can you build from simple into more intricate? If you get what I mean. I built from simple. Okay, so it's doable. Super cool. Okay. Because here is pretty much my current extent of trying to make anything look a little bit reflective here on the green of the whatchamacallit, of the pauldrons, shoulder plates. It's pretty crap, but it does the job at being registered as a different type of texture from all the scratches and dinks and shadows in the cloth textures. I mean, eh. It's something, at the very least. So yeah, definitely something to look. Yeah, it's not so much fear as much as it is just the amount of time to dedicate to something that is optional, so to speak. And it is by far not simple. Like, don't get me wrong, it isn't undermining the achievements. And also, you are friggin' awesome as a painter, so I don't know why you are being all modesty here. Yeah, yeah. But it's like going through all of the standard shapes and how light reflects off of them. And so there is a little bit of actual sit down and like open up a book or a website and read. Again, I'm just making excuses here. I'm just lazy as shit. So that's the short and long of it. Oh, that looks horrible. God damn. Glazing will fix it. Maybe. Another reason that I'm thinking about non-metallics is the fact that I prefer having a matte finish to my paintings, to my minis, and the matte varnish that I use usually destroys any shine from metallic paints. So if I didn't do a good job, it really highlights that. Non-metallic copper. Sounds alright. Got any sneaky peeks for us? Do you have reds in your copper? Or is it just browns and Oh, okay. There we go. Nice stuff, man. Shit. And yeah, the Skaven are just super cool. Vermin. I love them and I hate them. But the copper, yeah, copper is coming out so good. And are those reflections really hand painted? Shit. Yeah, they are. You can see a little bit. Damn. Damn. Yeah, that's good, man. That is a good stuff. Okay, so Skaven are awesome. They're really interesting, like steampunk, slummy, like low steampunk type critters. Very, very cool. If you ever consider joining the ranks of a Blood Bowl, there is a Skaven team. For your painting and playing pleasure. I just paint them for practice. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Is the camera too far away? Yeah, so shockingly, I'm prepared to be completely knocked out of your socks. When I get the paint consistency right, shit comes out good. When I don't, shit comes out bad. Yeah, absolutely. I think that nowadays, considering the overall lower number of free hours a day, like just overall more of a hectic and quick daily cycle, and the fact that there is so much more variety in terms of models and companies that produce models and all that, and games as well. Skirmish would be the way to go. I would like to have an army to just pick up and collect over the course of a decade or so, and then just look back with admiration on the just the scale of stuff I've amassed. But let's be honest, that shit will never last. Having such a long term, both dedication and not being distracted by the next cool shiny thing that's near you is way too hard, like too much of a want. Seems like GW stuff the games are always changing the rules. Yeah, that is annoying. Like, okay, change the rules, I don't care, but make those rules available for free. Like, it's been maybe a decade now where releasing the rules for free has been a standard practice for most games manufacturers. I mean, come on, for real. They make plenty off of the miniatures. They can totally afford to release the rules for free. At the very least, if they didn't, then make them good. Like we've been complaining here with Harlequin and pretty much the entire Blood Bowl community of the way that the new rule set for Blood Bowl has been treated, and the fact that there is so much ambiguity and so much bad wording, like inefficient and uh, ambiguous wording. It's not alright. You can't afford to not properly proofread and play test the shit that you're trying to push on people. That's just stupid, especially when you're the the leading company. And also, yeah, the rules update mandatory cycle is annoying. So you get your rule book, then you start collecting all of the small annexes that expand the game, and then in 4 years' time, they just reset the whole thing. Yeah, absolutely. Well, probably not useless per se, but I get what you mean. Definitely not fulfill the purposes for which it has been gotten. Uh, which is why you should always emphasize on rule of cool and just pick up the stuff that appeal to you design wise and try and make it work in the game. Not really. So something similar to what you're saying happened with Necromunda. It took them, I think, a total of 3 attempts to restart the game properly after um, they started to reintroduce it um, after they stopped playing around with the specialist games, and they are now returning to revisiting them after over a decade and so of neglect. And Necromunda took them 3 times over the course of a year. So you had 3 starter boxes that are different in effectively 3 types of rule books until they nailed the one that they're currently working with. And by nailed, I mean they just stuck with it. So 2 attempts were ineffective, and people that get those rule books can't use them. So even if the models you can use, the books that did cost a hefty chunk are paperweights made of paper. And that is a little bit of a really not respecting your buyers, your customer base. And again, overall quality of the way the books are written has been going down for whatever reason. I just don't understand why, but across multiple gaming systems, it's been bad. Like for Age of Sigmar, as far as I know, because I don't really play that, but as far as I understood, one of the new update editions actually had just straight out wrong information, which, come on. Yeah, just one of the, I think one of the race's stats for the units and pricings were just wrong. And that's a book that cost like $80 or something. Even if they do release, and I think they did release an errata on it, it's a separate piece of paper that you have to print out. And then what's the point of actually having a good looking, well stylized book if you're gonna put note to files in it, like file notes? And their digital stuff also is pretty like ancient in terms of what it could be, because you'd say, yeah, I'll just get the digital copy of the rules, and so when they make a fuck up and they release the errata, they'll also do it in the just straight up in the digital release, but they don't. It just remains wrong in the digital release as well, so you have no real advantage of using it. And they could make uh, the digital thing like a living rule book and just incorporate all of the updates, erratas, FAQs, and whatnot as they pile on throughout the cycle of the edition. But they don't do that. And it isn't hard. It's not. You don't need a huge team of developers to do it. So from that angle, they have completely shit the box, and I don't think they're trying anything to get out of this. They're just comfortably laying in on the fact that they are the biggest and the best and better than the rest. But that will only be the case until it's true, and that might not be forever. But we'll see. I actually do want them to get their shit together because I like their products in general. I like the almost ancient now settings that have been, I wouldn't say meticulously, but have been developed over the course of decades. And I want to see that continued, but gotta get their shit straight. For the Blood Bowl re-release back in, I'll just keep buying cool models instead. Yep, that is a fairly safe and nerve preserving approach and alternative to the whole debacle. So yeah, I do applaud that. But with that being said, I also do enjoy playing with my little toy soldiers, so you know, to each their own. Yeah, the vamps are gonna be really cool. I think. Mm, I haven't know. I know that they announced them. I don't know if they released the full range yet. I'm a little bit behind the news, and especially regarding the news flash emails received from miniature companies. Those usually get kind of deleted while I'm sitting at the pooper, so I miss some of the key updates. But I did see the vamps, at least a couple of them. I don't know if those were the leaked ones or the officially announced ones, but they're the same thing, so whatever. It is cool though. And if they release enough, people might actually make some vampire teams for Blood Bowl. I will always turn things back to Blood Bowl. That's just how it goes, apparently. Meteor rollout is slow. Yeah, I do, kind of rarely lately, but yeah, I have about 200-ish hours of it on Steam. And I am waiting for the third one that's gonna come out this year, and will have the new rule set in it. I do have some games recorded and posted on my YouTube if you're curious to take a look. They have been streamed live as well. It's like whenever I'm in the mood, I do a few games. But during the last month of last year, I did decide to to give myself a little bit of a break from painting and take a look at my Steam library and kind of clean up. Play some of the games that I've been meaning to for a while. And oh yeah? Do tell. And just to finish up my thoughts, so I ended up playing through the Dead Space trilogy, which was cool. I mean, I still need to finish up the third one. We're pretty close. What's red and has 7 dents in it? Hey, Bureau of Balance Reject. Thank you for the bits. How you doing? Welcome along and a happy Wednesday to you. Snow White's cherry. Oh, come on. Brutal. But true. Very possibly very true. I think there were some documentaries that might have illustrated such a thing, but I am not going to go into any details on the matter. Snow White. Now you get that image stuck in me. God damn it. Stuck in my mind. Shit. Yeah, just sort of dented and banged up all around. What brand of paints? Currently, for these details, I'm using the Pro Acryl stuff by Monument Hobbies. But for most of it, I'm still using the Citadel paints from good old Games Workshop. But I'm trying to phase out from them and just move completely into the Pro Acryl. Are you yourself a miniatures painter? And if you are, would you like to to share some of your works. Also, do let me know if you're a streamer so we can throw a shout out and give you a follow. Or, of course, if you do not feel like it, you can always just let us know what it is that you are currently interested in. Any projects, any games, be it digital, board, card, whatever. How do you like spending whatever free time you have available? Dabble a little, still working on the Dark Imperium Death Guard set. Making terrain. Awesome. Yeah, the Death Guard that they're coming out with are just very, very nice. I saw that there are some very cool options in their champions range, heroes range, like they did with the Terminator Marines. But I don't know if they've fixed the availability issue because initially they were only launched in Japan, I think, but then they sort of cropped up worldwide. I'm not sure if that's the case for the Death Guard, but they have some really cool character models over there. And yeah, terrain, absolutely. For whatever reason, I cannot get to that stage. It's always minis. I can't seem to get enough of them painted in order to finally go into terrain. And so these are for Blood Bowl, so they are played on a board. Not really any terrain required. But the other game that I have painted minis for is Necromunda, and it is very, very terrain oriented and very three-dimensional in the way to play it. So that is something that I really need to build some stuff. And I don't know about yourself, but me and quite a few other hobbyists have a little bit of a hoarding problem whenever you think about terrain. So tons of cans and styrofoam, cardboard, and whatnot just getting piled on and on and on. Because you never know, it might come in handy for terrain. I can't really help you, unfortunately, with any adequate advice in regards of that, but you got the terrain tutor and black cereal boxes galore. Yeah, something like that. Midwinter Minis has some very good, cheap, and effective options to make terrain. Black Craft Studios on YouTube also does good terrain tutorials. There are plenty. And of course, you can acquire pre-built ones or 3D print your own. This is something that's been gaining quite a bit of traction recently. Nice. Yeah, I also follow Miniac stuff. Although regarding painting, they are going a little bit too high end for me. But apart from that, I do listen to the podcast as well while I'm working, because it's not necessarily something that I have to pay 100% attention to while it's happening, and there are some cool quips. And again, feel free, feel encouraged to share whatever it is that you have done so far, are looking to do, or what you have on your table at the moment. Here is a little 1984 inspired random piece. Oh, okay. Just a second, and I will give it a shot. Give it a check. Bring it up. And thank you for the follow as well. It's much appreciated. All right, let's have a looky-roo. Whoa! And with the posters as well. Sweet. Dude, that's some good stuff. And the camera with the rust streaks from it. That looks awesome. What did you make the wall out of? Is it plastic card or foam board? Because that looks sick. And if you have any how-tos on the matter, foam board. Okay. Oh God. So you actually played around with sculpting the textures on the bricks. Fig. Pretty cheap at Dollar Tree. Yeah, foam board is actually a very good building material. Yeah, that is some good stuff. Again, if you do plan on making any tutorials on stuff like this, I am most indiscriminately going to steal all of your tips when I get to doing the Necromunda stuff, because that is exactly the kind of shit I want to pull off. Bolt up tinfoil rolled around. Oh, okay, here we go. There's the knowledge starting to trickle out for us to indiscriminately take advantage of. Nice. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense and looks very realistic. Cool. And I think that something you can do fairly easy for the paper, if you want to give it a worn look, you can alrighty have a very nice, productive, easy, and nice rest of your workday. Thank you for dropping along and giving us a pick at your terrain building stuff. Thanks again. Have a good one. And thanks for the bits as well. Yeah, so the thing that I was trying to get to about the paper, I recently saw a tutorial about making books, essentially. Not miniaturized, just regular stuff. and they wanted to have an old, worn out feel to the paper. And so they soaked the paper sheets in coffee water, and it came out looking pretty snazzy, so it might work at a miniaturized scale as well. If you want to blend stuff like posters and maybe banners, want to make them look a little bit more worn out, like browned out and decolorized from time and the elements and all that shit. Oh, really? Cool. Wanted posters. Nice. So yeah, it did strike me as kind of a classic looking approach to doing it, but I couldn't remember if anyone has actually made anything about it. So just thought I'd bring it up. Yeah, burn the edges as well. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so it's actually an established technique. And here I am thinking I'll bring something new to the table. Boo. I'm going so slowly today. And that's saying something. But I'm having fun, so don't matter none. I could have painted eyes on this dude, but I just couldn't be bothered because of the shield, the face shield. Would have been so much of a pain. Level up my basing skills. Oh, don't even get me started on that. Like, my basing game is so bad. Again, because I primarily paint models for games where sometimes you do need the model to not stand out too much, so you kind of keep the basing minimal and easily reproducible. So as a result, I'm pretty shit at making bases as well. And these guys will not be a exception to the rule, so it'll just be a little bit of texture paint um, with a dry brush, and then a few clumps of grass and a line to make it look like a actual pitch, and that about covers it. Is the most that I'm willing to do for 19 models. I know, right? The second you get something, you just want to put it everywhere. That's why I tried to get some what do you call it? Mutually exclusive stuff like texture paint and gravel or something like that, so that it would be stupid to put it on. Hello, Satsi. Satsi's in the house. What's up? Speaking of coffee, if you are basing 15 mil miniatures on coin or washers, e-mix. Yeah, dried out coffee grounds. Again, this was something I saw on what was it? God damn it! On Midwinter Minis YouTube channel. Yo, Naki. Hello. Good evening. How's it going? Yeah, and the only thing that was placed as a possible negative on that is the fact that being a natural organic product, it may rot, so you do need to think about sealing it some way. But apart from that, yeah, and it cracks very nicely if you clump it up. The used up coffee grounds. Yeah. I'm doing pretty fine, thank you. How about yourself? Just chilling the Wednesday evening away and making it seem like I'm painting, but not really. Tired, but okay. Well, if it's time for the relaxing part of the evening, being tired actually plays in quite well. You can just sit back, kick back, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Mixing with acrylic paint helps seal the grounds. And the usual clear finish. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do go for that two-stage varnish approach, where you put one layer of clear coat for the actual protection and then another of matte varnish for the looks. And a few years back, I did try the baking soda thing for snow bases for my Kador Battle Force or War Machine. And that did not work out too well, I tells ya what. Because it's all yellow snow. Very yellow. The kind you don't want to eat. So ever since then, I've been sort of wary using household products for basing. But then again, I didn't really know anything about anything, so... Been building up on that knowledge front. Haha, this time it went well. The Zappa fan? Not necessarily. Do you mean like Frank Zappa? Get an aggregate or mix with my base coat for such purposes rather than rely on the color of the material. Yeah, I like priming over the real rocks and sticks I might use. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, actually, did you hear a lot of horror stories about Nobody the Yellowstone? You do hear a lot of horror stories about the baking soda approach going bad, but let me actually show you how it really looks. Just a moment, and I'll be right back. Hello? Not yellows. No, the bases, how they look. Alright, so we're going to do some dusting here. Well, let me show you. Now, these are all kicked up in dust because they haven't seen any play or haven't been touched in about 7 years, maybe? Yeah, you can take a look at that. You can see how much it yellowed. Now, color correction on this camera is bullshit, so it may not look as yellow as it actually is, but take my word for it. It is. Yeah, so it's Ushapti bone levels of yellow. So an off-white, still not really into the yellow itself, but it's a little bit yellower than a Ushapti bone. So it gets pretty bad. And that is considering that I mixed both white paint and the super glue, the white glue into it. And it's still yellowed out. But I think if I just repaint it over it, it'll go away. Just never bothered. Vinegar soda, the tabletop staple. For explosions, yeah? I think vinegar and detergent sort of had the same interesting reaction. Welcome back, Harlequin. What is up? What's that? Did the brothers have any new movies? Like the the original scary movie? Couple dudes. I think 50 Shades of Black was their last thing. Or I might be mistaken. The Wayans, yeah. Because I think I saw them credited for 50 Shades of Black, but that was a few years ago. And I actually got to see one of their earlier works, the Don't Be a Menace in the Hood movie, which is pretty fun, as a matter of fact. No idea, not a fan. Alrighty. I was just curious. Ah, the Budweiser. I think it was Bud Light. But since we never got Bud Light here, it is the movie that we mostly associated with. Kind of reverse order on things. I think we still don't have Bud Light. Or any Budweiser for that matter. I gotcha. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Here and there, maybe a few cans. Yeah, there have been some very minute imports of stuff, but very, very slim. They do import their own water approximation of beer. True that, true that. And I actually miss the fact that ours has been sort of ruined lately because they decided to make it long lasting and they really ramped up the alcohol, like to the point where this is the watered down beer is actually a very light version of vodka. Like I've been, and it's bad because the lighter beers you sort of want to chug down quite a few, and Sex in a Canoe summer beer. Yeah, that's exactly it. Where you're out and just bang the beers one after the other. It's fucking close to water. Okay, that's a good. All right, chat's on fire today with the jokes. Let's put up some more silver and finish up the two remaining guys. And guess who forgot to turn on the recording? This guy. I knew I forgot something today. Burn centers, what? What's this then? Okay. Search by keyword. Oh, these are. I see, okay. Thought it had something to do with it, but. Yeah. Apply ointment to burned area. Yeah, me too. It's alright. It's been a long week. Good one. A natural talent, if you will. Or is it a finely tuned craft? Most of them wouldn't get finely tuned. Yeah, whatever. He's alright. Relax. Put the band hammer down. Put it down now. I fed you those bots a month ago to quench your thirst for ban. If they are follower but not subscriber. Oh wow, okay. That's edgy. Yeah, sounds like not the greatest of ideas. Confusing viewers is your superpower. I see, okay. So it's a little bit of being like caught up with your theme and applying perhaps not the best tactics. Yeah, you put it blunter than me, but yeah, that's the point I wanted to make. If you want to watch him but not pay, you do not deserve the chat. Okay, fair enough. Then, in that case, however, you do a subscriber-only stream, and then you don't get to complain about why you don't get any new subscribers. It's as simple as that. Or even better, if you have the following, then just make your own website, build your own plugin player for streaming, and make it a paid site. How about that? Yeah, there are all kinds of things. All kinds of people that kind of tend to fill up a little bit too much on heated air. But it is what it is. Wow. Wow, man. All right. That is next level, though. Yeah, okay. Okay, you got me. That is absolutely next level bullshit. Shit. Mm-hmm, exactly. Yeah, that is what happens when you play video games for 7 digits. No, at that point it would have been already 8 digits. Prize pool. The current Dota 2 championships are currently at 40 million of a prize pool. $40 million. So a clip of some of those. Oh, good. I was having a similar kind of meltdown. Oof. Yeah, that is also a very stinky can of worms to open up. It is. Moving on. I mean, also there isn't. It's interesting because at the same time, it is controversial and all that, and at the same time, you really don't have that much to say about it. It's like a fairly easily exhaustible subject. It's just controversial in nature, which makes it so much weirder. Moving on. Alrighty. So yeah, 40 million of a price pool for the Dota. Which is a fairly good incentive to play it, I think. Yep, the current international, or whatever the name of the main championship is because some time ago a stream about a girl sleeping. Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. Yes, I don't think it was tens of thousands, but it was easily 3,000 viewers. Yeah. That's true. Indeed, but tell you what though, I'm also lonely, but yeah, you don't really see me doing all these things now, do you? It's for my OnlyFans only. But yeah, it is a valid point. Yeah, nah, sorry. I'm just joking. For now, who knows? Some of the Blood Bowl players have cat cams. Well, I don't have a cat. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I knew that was where this is going. God damn it. Yes, okay. True. True, they're being used, but at the point, at a certain point, I guess, it doesn't really matter. I don't know. But it is a valid point. Certainly, like on the basis of principle, although I'm gonna be honest, not too many pop to mind. Yeah, I mean that's it, because you would think that what the example that you would give is that, but then again, that is really actually pretty intense work. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And you don't hear them begging for subs, right? With that being said, I think what was her name? I think Adriana Chechik has a Twitch stream where she plays video games, but she's on very rarely. Then religion is another option. Oh god, okay, we're gonna topple all of them, aren't we? Sasha Grey used to stream as well. Okay. Yeah, hello, Kun here, trying to really bring out all of the taboo topics. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is pretty much the intention, God damn it, the impression that I'm left with as well. Yeah. They're definitely not camera shy. I guess that's a big plus when starting to stream. Yeah, it took exactly the same thing I was saying. But I think that is more like the case now, because it's becoming pretty mainstream. Whereas before, you had quite a few reports of suicides and really not amazing things. Some old porn star playing one of yeah, that is true. Without having the yeah. And yeah, Naki, I'm pretty sure this is if it hasn't happened already, it's probably in the works. that is so going to disappear with the matte finish, but it's okay. For some unknown reason, one of the other popular StarCraft 2 streamers have pizza streams. He makes pizza dough and cookies. Well, that's nice. I mean, I see nothing wrong with that. Getting a bit of insight into and people actually like it and make him do it. Well, sure, why not? I mean, it is a little bit weird, but it's actually one of those things that would rather bring a smile to my face than not. Yeah, exactly. It is content. And his stream time is 99.5% pro StarCraft 2. Well, still. Do you think we'll ever see another rise in real-time strategies, or is it just going to be MOBAs from now on? It's not that I hate either. Just something I wonder every now and again. Baking streams for celebratory events. 1,000 followers baking stream. Shit. I don't know. Actually, that's since baking itself is really crafty. I really don't see any fault in it. And if you're following the person for other reasons, like other talents or other areas that he is or he or she is more well known for, it's actually a little bit of an insight to that person's character and what they do. So I'm pretty alright with that. And not too much inside the industry. Yeah, no, just something that actually that's a topic that came out quite a while ago. And yeah, honestly, I think that the writing's on the walls, really. I personally always loved RTSs, but was never able to learn how to play them properly. Different but same core, but it'll take... Yeah, it needs to sort of flip through, become sufficiently retro for it to be brought back, kind of like synthwave. Yeah, but you do realize that that StarCraft is pretty much the last bastion to it. Yeah, but it is the last pillar that this stands on. How many years were there between the first and the second one? More than a decade for sure. 97, 98 for the first StarCraft, and 15-ish, yeah, something like that. So I'm not saying that they're not going to release a third one, but 2011, 2012. Yeah, so yeah, 15-ish. Yeah, that's something I'm finding pretty difficult to believe. Like, just the concept of Red Alert was so laid back for an RTS that even I could play it. Third one is out of question, yeah. I don't think there will be one. Considering Blizzard tried their hands to... Oh yeah, it is. It is nothing like it used to be, and they did try their hands with Heroes of the Storm to bring their other existing IPs into the MOBA genre, but I found out Saturday, was it? Someone told me that they will no longer have updates for Heroes of the Storm, so effectively it's dead. Which is a pity, because it was a good starter game if you wanted to get into the MOBAs but didn't want to get obliterated instantly. So I don't know when the servers are gonna go down, but considering no updates are in place, that's pretty much step one. Alright, so we are done with the highlighting of the metallics. Maybe try my hands at blending a little bit, like glaze a little bit of the base color and see if that'll smooth out some of the rougher patches. Which Total War? One-off battles. Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, the Warhammer Total War is streamed quite a bit. I've come across at least half a dozen streams for Warhammer, for Total War Warhammer. All right, so I ran out of. They are built. Is it popular? I haven't seen that, but I really want to play that game as well. I own it. I bought it quite a while ago. And it's really fun. The steampunk zombie survival RTS, really cool. And it has an active pause, which is great for people with bad actions per minute timers like me. Counters. It really helps out. Oh, so it's player versus environment, which is also a big plus for me. They are building. Thank you for reminding me. Actually, I've been looking forward to giving it another shot. Because when I got it, it still didn't have a campaign. It was only the first 2 skirmish maps, and that was it. So now that it has a campaign, it might be worth having a more thorough play. Yeah, and Total War is pretty decent. The Warhammer one, it's a bit too heavy for me. Like at this point, it'd be a bit much. Yeah, the Air Billions is definitely pretty cool. I don't know what your impressions of it are, but it's actually really fun to actually play it. Again, because of the active pause in single player. And it's steampunk, and we can always use a little bit more steampunk in our lives, can't we? No, I mean from watching it. Your impressions of it from the streams. My paint water taste. Oh shit. Okay, well, F in chat, I guess. F's in chat. I was just thinking that I'm running out of drinking water and was gonna refill it, and then Naki just blew it out of the water. No, that's the thing. It doesn't necessarily require you to do all the quick clicky things because you can do the old BioWare stuff. A big brush flicker. Oh, okay, so just a little bit more concentrated and varied in taste, I guess. But still. One of the streamers was mostly playing without pause. Yeah, I mean, that's a bit show-offy. Which, again, I don't necessarily have anything against, but if you're watching it as an introduction to the game, it can muddle your perception for it. Very sensible to the random territory. Yeah, that is a thing, especially in the older versions where you had only the skirmish maps. I did also finally watch a little bit of gameplay of one of the games that I've been avoiding for whatever reason. One of those that you don't know why, but you just avoid. And unfortunately, it turns out it looks pretty damn good. It's Mutant Year Zero. So if you're into your XCOM type games, just this time with more story. So if you wanted to see the XCOM 2 engine and playstyle, hey hey. Mutant Year Zero looks real decent. Yeah, and I found out that it is based off of an RPG. The animals are initially turning off. Yeah, that's right. That is the reason why I was avoiding it for the longest time. But when I actually saw it in play, it actually looks very decent. Have you played the RPG, Naki? I couldn't really make too much out as far as information goes about the RPG, apart from the fact that you play on a hex grid. Which sounds good. Also, speaking of RPGs, Privateer Press announced that they'll be having a 5th edition for their Iron Kingdoms RPG. Yeah. I'm asking you for the tabletop, because I literally know only the fact that it's probably on a hex grid. there is a cat shit one. Supposed to be realistic combat animes. Sadly, it is with animals. Yeah. No grids at all. Okay. Cool. Then that means there are maybe multiple editions of it. I don't know, but it was an interesting info. Just a little bit of trivia to know. And as far as I understand, the developers of the video game are Swedish, so I don't know if the game itself is Swedish. Yes, Swedish RPGs. Okay, there you go. All right, all right. I don't know. I only picked this up from comments during the stream that I was watching that where the game was played. So I do not have any pretense for accuracy of information. Just something that caught my attention. So yeah, also if you like the Iron Kingdoms, like I already mentioned, Privateer Press are having a Kickstarter for Edition 5. And a thing that made a very big impact on me in a negative way is that on the YouTube video that they use to announce the fact that they're coming out with a Kickstarter, so crowdfunded, they have banned comments. They have turned off comments to their to the video where this is announced. Which I don't know, man. If you want to get supported, like crowdfunded, straight off limiting your interaction with people is kind of stupid. No, it's not smelly. Warhammer Warhammer TV has been doing this forever, but Warhammer doesn't crowdfund their shit, right? So if you're gonna go big, yeah, you can afford yourself some censorship. But when you're crowdfunding, when your public relations is what is going to ensure that you have a product on the shelf, and you turn off comments for that, not great. Not a great start. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. In general, and in this case, it goes even further. And also, they have the guile to toot their horn that the Iron Kingdom's RPG setting is the most popular. Which, I mean, come on. Who are you lying to? Who the hell do you think you are, in the words of Vince McMahon? Yeah, they actually said it. On their official YouTube channel. They say that their shit is the most popular shit, and that is. Whew. It is mostly getting serious, people. Yeah, the time commitment. Like, you know that I also sort of avoid RPGs like tabletops because it's a commitment that I'm not sure I'd be able to take part of, and when it's a group commitment, it makes things serious. So many games, so little people. True that. It is, and I think so. The reason for that is the fact that you need to get more than two. To si tejže stalke peritem algo korite tajno. Okay, good one. Yep, yep. Lyrics to live by. Two easy, three doable, four is very unlikely. Yeah, absolutely. That is the main thing. And when you also account for the fact that your game master or dungeon master, or however you want to call it, is trying to accommodate for each player, the fact that you don't show up is kind of bad. So at the end, you just don't start at all. Being personal horror suggests 3 to 4 people at all. Yeah, but again, you see, you know, across our previous 5 or 6 people. Yeah. But again, this is mostly for one-offs, right? Not for campaign stuff. Because even in our league, where our matches are one-on-one, you do sometimes run the risk for having to schedule across multiple weeks to just get that person for 2 to 3 hours to play the game. Imagine if you have to add to that 3 more people. It becomes a bit of an overkill. It's not okay for longer games. Yeah, that's exactly it. Why did I dump so much paint on the palette? I guess I got excited. So I'm just brushing on a little bit of the base color here and there where the metallics, the highlights looked particularly ill faded. And again, the problem with one-offs is that it is hard to create a following and to maintain interest and intrigue if you don't have any got excited and shot too much. Yep, pretty much the case. Oh, okay. Guess I just haven't encountered too many of those. Don't rest your head. Okay. I've not heard of that one. Playing the same game with the same persona is a bit tiresome. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't have any experience with RPGs, so I couldn't say, but it feels like I would be more invested if it was something of a continuous nature. Or at least some sort of transference of either skills or resources or, you know. Ooh, endless campaigns. Do you have level caps on those, or is it you just work out with whatever you're stuck with? Do need party to count on exactly. Always played almost entirely free form, so barely. Oh, okay, I see. Hmm. So you do need a game system that can support such a play style. Yeah, that does sound like a interesting compromise that might lead to good results. Right. So less of a pen and paper, bring your sheets and all that. Right. Yeah. Understand and talk and not want to glory hog, be centers of attention and all that, which not the easiest thing to do or manage if it happens. Oh, no system. Okay. Yeah, but that's where what I meant with when Naki said that uh, even if there's no system, at least have a solid setting, something to step on, something to draw inspiration from, so you can keep it sort of in some boundaries. I have almost no idea what it is that I'm doing right now. But I think it's not damaging shit, so I'm fine. It's translated differently in Bulgarian. I spent years not knowing where it comes from. Yeah. Yeah. That makes me think of there was this hack and slash for PC. Sacred. I think it was the first one. And in one of the expansions, they added a dwarf character. So, in a completely 100% fantasy setting, they put in a dwarf with a mortar launcher, a flamethrower, and a chain gun as an official expansion character. And they hid behind the fact that it's kind of steampunk and all that, but come on, like mortar launchers and flamethrowers in your sword and board. Okay, fate. Mm-hmm. All right, guys, I really need to refill my water. I will be right back. My throat is getting super dry. Just give me a sec. And I'm back. Just explaining how the world works in order for the players to be able to send. Okay, yeah. So to get the overarching or underlying logistical, logical structure, that's cool. Okay. Ah, wait. Alright, so that is our silver metallics done. Now, I was thinking about going over to the golds, but instead, since I already have quite a bit of paint on the palette, I'm gonna use it to base coat some of the other dudes. And there is only about half an hour before I dive into some dinner. So we're gonna paint some base towns. I was thinking about doing also some eye brushing, because I got around to doing step 1 of the basing for 8 of the duders. But that is going to have to wait for now. And yes, I will need to fix these base rims. Your Twitch points are still cold smokes. Yeah, and the emote is still smoking. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, I had completely forgotten about the points though. Good call. Good reminder. Yeah, should make them. No, yeah, it has to be vapes. Even though on the devices, so some of the devices have counters that show you the amount of times you've taken a hit, and they call them puffs, so it's a puff counter. But I think that that has a little bit too much iffy uh, connotations. 41,000. And nothing to use them on. Shit, I'm sorry about that. I really am. I really need to think about stuff to do with these points. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Especially not in British slang, I don't think. so it might create problems. So it's probably gonna be vapes. But I do still need to think about what to do with them. What activities to make. It's a slang word, or it can be a slang word, so I would prefer to stay away from it. Although it's perfectly fine. Like I said, it's on every single device with a counter. I don't know. It sounds a bit risky to put on the channel either way. I really don't want to risk things right now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Twitch did censor this, but I have a good idea what you're talking about. Yeah. True. It's all variety, and it always comes down to um, the content that you want to put into that word. Like, but I will just stay on the safe side. Instead of having to explain myself. What exactly was it that I meant? That it had uh, nothing hateful in mind and all that. So better to just avoid it altogether. In this wonderful world of free speech. Smoke puffs, but that's the thing, right? So, you, smoking is the thing that I'm trying to go away. Yeah, vape puffs, vapes is fine. Like it really isn't a thing, a problem. Hell, I was worried for a while that Twitch will have a fit about the points being called smokes because it implies the use of tobacco products. And who the hell knows how they would react to that? Like, Twitch has all social media has become a very weird place with very. It's very hard to stay within the lines and actually have some sort of way to express things. Yeah. Electoral vape, non-offensive puffs. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I don't know if puritanical is the right word because there is a lot of obscenity, and it's kind of like breaking things down to the lowest common denominator, where if anyone, anywhere, at any time can find anything, can consider anything to be wrong, then it just gets banned and persecuted and obliterated. So yeah, actually, now that I say it like that, yeah, puritanic sounds pretty on point. Who dat? of inhospitable reading. Yeah, yeah. But then if you don't read it, looking for bigotry, then how will you make yourself heard? You have to actually make something or do something creative or, have an identity. And that takes work and life and all of that. So much easier to just hate, right? But that is yet I think so far we've hit like three hardcore topics. Eh, and I don't mind, don't get me wrong. It's just the fear has been instilled. Yeah. The fear of repercussions has been just drilled into my brain because of constant social media radiation about it. And it's like an instinctive jump back. Oh God! Oh no! We must not speak of that which must not be spoken of, or I will be banned for no reason, for no logic and no sense. Dearie me. Okay, so it's been less than a week since Resident Evil 8 has been revealed, and there is already a fucking plethora. In fact, I'll ban you right. So, right, fair enough. And there is already a plethora of memes about the big booby lady. Feel offended for not going further. Yeah, that's the direction things are going in, isn't it? So I'm bringing the Resident Evil thing up because I just gotta. I was messaged a meme. And why am I base coating with a number 2 brush? When I had the explicit intent of picking up a number 3. Tell you why, because I want to ruin it so that when I actually need detail work, I won't have a tool to do so with. Solid plan. Big goth chunky lady. Yep. Well, I wouldn't call her chunky, but yeah. And you get to see all of the, well, most of the US streamers struggle with the pronunciation of Dimitrescu. I actually heard someone say that couldn't be a real name. Just made my eyes pop out of my sockets. With a joke fetish. Yeah, the same one. Yeah, that hit so hard. Almost immediately becoming beat off bait, I guess. People are so thirsty. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I'm not really sure that that was what they were going for, though. It just exploded. Or do you think that it was all careful and clever scheming? I don't know. I still have a long way to go before I get to Resident Evil 8, so... As a matter of fact, I have all the way to go. Because I haven't beaten a single game yet. No, I lied. I lied. I've beaten the 5th one. I beat 5 with a... We played with a buddy. And we beat it long ago. From 2 kinds of obscure movies. Okay, still, let's give them a looky look. But before that, I will get the other brush out because this is the only good detailing brush that I have, and I do not want to ruin it with base coats. Alright, let's take a look. Yes. Yes. Good one. Eh. Really feel the punk. Oh, there's did you see the announcement for heavy metal Blood Bowl team? Like a Blood Bowl team made of metalheads, headbangers. As we are on the subject, on the topic, it's nothing amazing, but it's a cool idea. Now you're gonna make me search through the group to... I knew I should have taken the link immediately, but I forgot. You know, it may have been lost to the ether. I think Amixininos had it. Let me see. It's going to kick off in February, question mark. Blood Bowl community. Ah, there it is. All right, here we go. Metal Aces is the name of the Kickstarter, which is coming soon. Do they have anything else? I guess not. It's from Italy. Black Swine. Yeah, they had some sculpts. Yeah, it reminds me of Detroit Metal City. If you've seen that iconic anime. Or wrestling. Yeah, let me show you the sculpts. Well, the sculpts, the 3D renders. Because there was a screenshot. So this is what they gave us. It is a huge team though, so you'll be able to proxy it for a lot of stuff. So 33 players. Apparently it has halflings, has humans that you can substitute. So these would be your blockers. Some big guys. A bunch of linemen. And those probably should be the blitzers. Some poses are cool, like this one is kind of neat, but they pretty much just put some of the whatchamacallits, some of the open hands to form to do horn signs. So the most crowded pitch ever, and not real people. Yeah, it's a bit odd, and it's a bit too plain detail wise. Like for a metalhead themed team, they could have done a lot more. A lot more intricate uniforms. Like this is a very low budget, and yeah, it starts off on the first. It is lost for me. Yeah, it's not great, but the idea is there, and it's pretty cool. And the fact that it's 33 players and you can use it for how many teams? Humans, nobility. Can you use it for Norse? Yeah, these are supposedly the old foreigners, so Norse. So that's 3 teams. Can you go Amazons? I think you can go Amazons with them as well, so 4. Yeah, I think the idea is that they're just metalheads. They're not the group. They're the groupies, not the bands. But still, but it is. I want to see how much it'll cost. Because for 33 players, you can get a solid 4 to 5 teams in one. So if you're looking for a budget solution, linemen are Thrash and yeah. Again, it's a very large topic. Is in there's a lot of material to work with, and they gave us something pretty bland. It could, however, for reals, be a very interesting budget solution for having multiple teams. Power for catchers. Yeah. Running high on dragon slaying power. There was a lot of material, of course, and they managed to avoid all of it. Quite a bit. Yeah. Anyway, just thought I'd let you know about it. Kicking off apparently February 1st. Wanted the Spanish dwarf team. They are bikers. Oh yeah. They were really nice. Gaspes, weren't they from Gaspes? The biker dwarves. Yes, vests. Gaspes. Okay, yeah. What was the problem with them? I think they were very expensive. Something. Money, yeah. So I do recall correctly. But they are cool. Like I had my eyes on them as well for the longest time. But ended up with the Gears of Dwarves Kickstarter. Yeah, I was actually thinking about bringing them up on screen. So thanks for the link. Let's take another look at them. Yeah, no worries. No worries. I'll take a look and can we not bring this up to be zoomed in a little bit? One is 100% Motorhead. Let's see which one. Yeah. Yeah, they're for sure a really cool team. Dwarf with chainsaw. Oh, and look at the death roller as well. Ah, yeah. Sweet. And yeah, there we go. Nice. Oh, it's currently on sale. Buy two! Yeah, this is actually not so bad with... So it comes with 11 min. Oh, okay. So it's still... Yeah, for 11 miniatures, the full price is a bit scandalous. Like 75.90, that's 150 bucks local. No. A brand new, and these are 25 mil models, so 25 mil bases. So when you see how they look on a 25 mil base, it's safe to assume that they're 28 mil models, 28 mil scale. So they're smaller on top of everything. So yeah, maybe a bit much. But really, the designs are lovely. If they would upscale them and make the price reasonable, definitely want to get. And for sure, one of the most characterful dwarf teams, because most of them are fairly similar. And metal is kind of scary. No, the ones that were here, and since they are smaller models, I think it wouldn't have been a problem. They would mostly be one-piece models or just put in the arms. Oh, I did touch up the tree man yesterday. I'll show you in a moment. Nearly broke too. Even at 1 or 2 pieces, had so much to clean that I already. Yeah, it's fine though. Don't worry. The designs allow for chips and bangs and such. So yeah, this is what I did with the tree man. This arm almost didn't need any gap filling. It was pretty nice. This one did look a little bit off and might be a bit of a chunky thing, but it will certainly stay on because the connection was a little bit too shallow. So I actually had to glue this like 3 times in a row. It just wouldn't stay, and I had to gnarl it with a knife and all that. So it should be good. The only thing is this joint here, the elbow might be a little bit. You didn't have kind of where to really pin it. Also, it did have itself a little bit of a pin, so I just gnarled it and it went it well. So I scratched the inside of the joint on both sides, and it clicked right. So okay. But yeah, if necessary, it will be pinned. All right, good. Glad you like it. Because that's what you're getting. Right, how are we on time? 3:07. All right. Well, actually, I think I have lost pretty much any pretense of painting today. Yeah, I'll take a look. Give it a few shakes once the green stuff cured completely, and if it stands, it's good to go. Let's send the hobbits to the painters. Oh, that's nice. Get some more stuff on the way. Okay, so I think it has come to that time where my hunger dictates the end of the stream for today. They are taking the hobbits to the painters. So let's do a little bit of a. Oh, okay, there we go. That's something interesting you don't see every day within that time zone. So let us go over to Malev Shinobi. Have you? Thank you all guys too as well. Thanks so much for sticking around, chatting along, and bearing with me. So it's been fun, and as per the usual, keep doing what you love and loving what you do. Now, for anyone who's willing to stick around, we will be going over to Malev Flow Shinobi. He's a real cool cat. Catch you later, Zomcom, and I'll be back on Monday. Until then, enjoy your time, and yep, see you around. Bye-bye.